It's time for all your binge-worthy pop culture news. Welcome to Up and Adam.
Hi, everyone, and welcome back. Okay, guys, so today we're back for Hot Messy Topics, but today I changed the title to Hot Messy Affair because, as you guys know, on Friday, all of this broke. Now, I didn't realize when it broke. I just want to give you a little bit of context. I was sitting at the table with Jason and Shaylee, and we were kind of like wrapping up our day, and I saw James Kennedy posting these things, and sometimes James Kennedy from Vanderpump Rules obviously gets in his feelings, and we're like, okay, is this real? Is it not? So I wanted to kind of look into it a little bit more. When I found out that there was an affair from Tom Sandoval and Raquel, the way that they navigated this, the timeline behind it, everything that went into this, the sneakiness, the snake of it all, it was wild. So we're going to talk about all of that, the timeline, the Sheena allegedly punching Raquel, the Real Housewives of Potomac, and also Heather Dubrow's son, Ace, who is now transitioning as a 12-year-old. We have a lot to talk about, lots to discuss. But before we jump in, if you guys haven't already, go ahead, smash that like button. If you're not subscribed, get subscribed. Don't forget to hit that notification bell. And also don't forget that we have a members only live tonight. So if you're not a part of our members, well, definitely go over to our main page, join the memberships. It's only $2.99 a month. We're doing it tonight. We have a lot to talk about that's going on behind the scenes. So with that, let's welcome Jason. Hi.
Happy Monday.
Oh my gosh.
Happy Monday, not for Raquel and Tom, that's for sure.
What the? Okay, so guys, I know that we're supposed to be talking about, we all want to get to Potomac, right? We want to get to all of this.
Actually, before you start there, Potomac, this third part of the reunion was probably out of the three my least favorite. And the whole Robin situation, sit down one-on-one, where we've already discussed this, we've already heard it. I was just so glad we had something else to talk about today.
I mean, this is honestly, Jason, you and I were laughing because Jason and I went out to dinner. We moved recently, guys. So not to give away our address or anything, but we moved about 45 minutes away from where we lived before. And the new community that we live in is a little bit more quiet. It's like a sleepy town. It's different, right? It's just a different
quiet
vibe.
Beach town. Yeah,
it's
we're
like
not around all the
town.
chaos because we travel like every 2 weeks. We're in New York or LA, or we have a lot of trips coming up. So you know, it's nice to come home and have that.
But you were dying laughing because we went out to dinner, and right next to us, because Jason kept saying, Adam, put your phone away. No more working. I'm like, listen, there's no more working. And then these two ladies, I think they were sisters, were having dinner, and they're like, oh my God, Tom and Raquel and Ariana. And they started talking about it. And Jason's like, Adam, no. And I was like,
anywhere you went, it's crazy to me.
It was at the gas station. It was at the restaurant. Like, it was just wild. So we're going to get into all of it. I want to know what you guys think. Comment below in the live chat because Shaylee posted some polls this morning, and I saw on Twitter where fans were calling for Raquel and Tom to be removed from Vanderpump Rules. However, my big question is we've had multiple affairs in the past. So I wasn't using this as like a way to ask you or validate what they were doing. I'm asking just simply because in the past, we celebrated Vanderpump Rules for being dramatic. There's affairs. It's incestuous. We're cheating with one another. What's going on? That's what got the ratings. So why now would we cancel them for doing the same thing? Even though it's effed up, we don't condone it. It almost seems as if this, for Vanderpump Rules producers, just secured them a few more seasons.
Now, Raquel Leviss single-handedly has secured at least 3 more seasons of Vanderpump Rules because of this. Now, and I'm not saying it's all, her fault. It takes 2 to tango, but we're sitting here and I'm so guilty. And I'm known for eating my words when it comes to Vanderpump Rules, especially when I called it the season of completion on seasons 8 and 9. I was like, ugh. And 10 came back, and already without Tom and Raquel, it was shaping up to be a really good season and a really good show. Now that we know that they have picked up cameras. So I'm really curious to see what and how they're going to put that into the season.
Okay, so let's go through this really quick because Jason has been asking me and I'm like, no, I want genuine reactions. And Jason, like on the weekend again, he puts the YouTube and the phones away. So he hasn't been watching the videos. Normally all week he watches the videos that I record without him. And so this morning he was like, Adam, I need the timeline. I'm like, oh my God, this is great. I feel like I'm telling you everything I've been talking about and I'm living for it. So you ready?
I'm ready for the time. But it's so weird because we used to work with these people, and
Yeah.
all of our friends are mutual friends, and to hear people, to be on the phone with some people this weekend, and I was kind of not. I remember when it broke and you said you were going over the James Kennedy stuff and he was
Mhm.
posting shit on his Instagram, right?
Yeah.
And then right when I saw it, I'm like, you have to cover this immediately because there's no one better, right?
Right.
So you went and you did that. And then my phone starts blowing up from people we used to work with, from some of the cast. Your phone's blowing up. And it's just like, what in the hell is going on? But go ahead and recap the timeline for us because this
Okay.
is crazy.
All right. So you have no idea. Okay, so the timeline came out from All About the Real Housewives. And this is interesting because this was originally leaked to Dumois. And Dumois actually reached out to Ariana and said, we had this information. We felt bad because they really like Ariana. And they didn't want to put that out there because they felt bad about it. But they knew. And this person, whoever this is, must be linked to Ariana. So they said Ariana has been suspicious for months about them. She almost caught them one night when he was sneaking out of the guest room where Raquel was staying. Ariana asked what he was doing in her room, and he said he was giving her water at 4 a.m. Okay, also, there was a rumor that Raquel and Tom hooked up at Coachella. It was not Tom Schwartz, but what we did was deflect to take away from the real situation. So this has been under our nose the entire time. I just want to say really quick, the snake of it all, the Scandival. If you, the Scandival, you 800 in the room, guys, smash that like button, show some love. If you had somebody in your house that is best friends with your partner and you have her sleeping in the guest room and you're sneaking in her room while your partner is sleeping, you're a fucking snake. A piece
That's just
of
crazy. It's
snake.
like I was getting her water. Can the bitch not get her own water?
Get your own fucking water. I was getting her water. What is she? Is she immobile?
I don't know.
No, the answer is no. She's
Why was
not.
she staying there?
Know.
She was staying there because she was drunk, or she was staying there because she wanted to hook up with.
She was staying. Well, first of all, Ariana looks at her like she's staying there because she's her best friend. We have extra rooms. We're in a 6,000 square foot home. It's massive. We have a room. You're staying over. You're drinking. You're hanging out with us. Stay in my home. You're my friend. You're a fucking snake.
Oh God.
I mean, honestly, to invite somebody, this is disgusting on a whole other level. This is why you see on different shows, like where you see like these nasty videos of people fighting out in the street, or these home videos of people just dragging each other through the kitchen, or, like getting violent or aggressive. And you see that and you can't justify it because violence isn't the answer. But when I sit there and I think about the position that Ariana's in, I'm like, I don't know how you're feeling. I talked to a few people who are close with Ariana. Yeah. I love Ariana. I think she's an absolute sweetheart. And I talked to some of my friends who still work at TomTom and are associated with Vanderpump Rules. And they said right now she's really struggling. There was a photo that came out from Page 6 last night of Ariana flipping off the paparazzi. And what happened was they had parked their asses outside of her home. Now, she's no Britney Spears, 100%. But what she is a woman who is going through a very public affair that she had nothing to do with, no inclination of, no idea. And now she is the one who's going to have to take all of this extra just anxiety, the aggressiveness. Is it your fault? Did you do something wrong for him to cheat on you? People are questioning, like, well, you get your man, or you lose your man, how you get them. He was with Kristen. I'm like, you guys are definitely, the way that you're placing your anger right now and your extra attention is so misplaced. Because for Tom and Raquel, Ariana didn't know. Ariana didn't know that they had matching lightning bolt necklaces. Ariana didn't know that Tom was at the Miss California pageant supporting Raquel.
Wait, while Ariana was in Florida.
While she was in Florida, because her grandfather passed away. Does that not give you
that makes you angry? Yeah, totally. Especially, with our friend group. That's insane. That's so backstabbing of a partner. You know what I mean? Like, that's ridiculous. And yes, you lose him how you get him. I understand that. A lot of people are saying this is the storyline. This is what's going to keep the show going. No, it's not a storyline. I would love to say it's a storyline and we're going to prove you, right. It's really not, because the conversations we've had over the past few days have been kind of intense. Very, very intense. But at the same time, they have had a relationship where, they don't want to get married, or she doesn't want to get married or she doesn't want to have kids. And it seems like no one really wanted to pull that trigger into like that full commitment. Right. But that's the point where you ask yourself, do I want to be in this, and then break it off before you go do something. There's always been something just a little slimy about Tom. Okay. And I've told you this before, and you're like, no, he's a great guy. He's a great guy. And, he did our show last year in LA.
I've always really liked Tom.
Yes. You've always really liked Tom. I mean, the fact that I have to say Miami Girl was right. She was telling the truth. And remember how hard people were defending Tom, like, oh, he's on TV. This girl just wants to be on the show. And it's like, there's been a lot of Miami Girls.
There's been a lot of Miami Girls. And, the funny part about this too, is I actually, I was curious to see if Miami Girl was vindicated. And I reached out. She did not want to talk. She said that this is way behind her at this point. And I completely understand.
Yeah.
And listen, I get it. I was there. One of the fun facts is I was there, and some people will send me the photos or like a screenshot from Vanderpump Rules at that time where Kristen was like, oh, I got your ass. Ariana and Tom were behind the bar. She had this girl fly in from Miami, which producers, of course, paid for. She walked her in and she sat there like kind of waiting for this whole thing to explode. Tom and Ariana ran out. But I remember the girl was out front crying because production told her, you're going to get your moment. You're going to be vindicated. And she was outside crying to her friend. She had a best friend, I believe, gay best friend, a guy who was out there with her. And the only reason I say I think he was gay was because he was hitting on me. And we were talking and she's like, this is so fucked up the way that they did this. They told me I was going to fly here and I was going to be able to be like, to put him on the spot and I was going to be vindicated. And I'm like, girl, your name and your photo is not on that poster. This is not to serve you. You got duped. They got your ass. This is a TV show. They need to make him look good. That way we continue to celebrate him for seasons to come. And that way we keep bringing him back. Right. But for you, we don't know you. So yes, of course you got used as a pawn. But for this situation, you're talking about in the Bravo world, which sounds so ridiculous, America's sweetheart. Ariana Madix is just not, she's just one of the sweetest girls on the show. If you see her and you see Lala go in on her, you see Sheena, whoever wants to go to bat with Ariana, she's like, oh, you're mad. And, like she doesn't call you a B word. She doesn't call you out of your name. She's not trying to drop bombs on you. She's just genuinely a sweet person. So then Raquel...
True in real life as well. Like she is the nicest person and will defend anyone if she has, she's a really great person. My question really quick before you continue is how long would this have kept going had Ariana not found out what was going on?
In the phone. Let's get into it really quick.
Okay.
Because this gets me. This affair was going on for 6 to 8 months. Okay. This has been going on since July. So this at BravoCon, when I walked up to Raquel, when I was talking to Tom and Ariana, all of this was happening behind the scenes when everybody was so pissed at Raquel for sitting front row right in Katie Maloney's face at the panel that she was not a part of, wearing a Tom, shirt or hoodie. They were like, that is such a diss to Katie. It wasn't a diss to Katie. It wasn't meant for Katie or Schwartz at all. It was meant for a silent sort of support for Tom Sandoval. And that's what we were missing because we didn't know what was going on behind the scenes. So now we're in October at BravoCon, July, August, September, October. You're 4 months into your affair. And what happened here was Ariana's grandfather was sick. So she had to fly back to Florida and he was selling Raquel this like kind of broken list of goods of, listen, this is the situation. I'm opening this bar. I have my other restaurant, Tom Tom. We have a house together and a mortgage. I don't want to be in the same situation that, Tom and Katie are because they're both living in apartments again. This is like my one asset that I really have like the most equity in. And so eventually we'll tell her. The rumor is, and I talked to one of the cast members and they said that this is true, that Raquel and Tom were planning to tell Ariana on camera for Vanderpump Rules for the ratings, which is even more f***ed up. You break off your 9-year relationship, no respect for the person that you're with, cheating on her.
That's the thing too, because I know people are angry and they're like, you know what? Kristen and James did it. Jax did it. Like, everyone, this show is built on, literally just cheating on each other in this incestuous, like, little friend group, right? Yeah. It's built on that. However, they've been together for almost a decade. This is different. We've been following them for a decade. It's not like it was Stassi and Jax who were like together for a few years, or Kristen and James who like were together for a hot minute, or even Kristen and Tom. Well, I guess Kristen and Tom would have been the closest to being in a very lengthy relationship, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So it's not that what do you expect? You lose them how you get them. This is different. This is just a little different than anything else that we've seen.
The irony of it is kind of interesting too, because listen, I love me guys some James Kennedy. Him and I had a couple words at the premiere because he felt like I was calling his girlfriend a fan. We talked about this and I said, no, you called her a fan. Okay. That's why I mentioned this. And then we were able to squash this. And then we talked over the weekend, but he's like, listen, guys, if you're going out to Orange County this weekend on Friday, he's like, if you're going to see Tom Sandoval and the Most Extras, well, his new song sounds like he's taking a shit, and make sure you bring your tomatoes and squeeze them real nice and throw them right at the stage. And I'm like, I get it. Funny, comical. We understand why you're on TV. However, you also slept with his girlfriend while he crashed on the couch. He fell asleep. I think he was a little wasted. And you took his condoms and hooked up with Kristen in his bed. So we're all kind of guilty of something. God. But you know who didn't do that? Ariana. And everyone is trying to say, well, you know what? Ariana and Lala both touched each other's boxes. And that was in the back of the car. And that's when Tom Sandoval was there. Guess what? Tom Sandoval was there. If he had a problem with it and that wasn't the situation he was comfortable with, I'm sure we would have had a conversation. But
this is a Ariana,
yeah, exactly. She didn't go behind the scenes and have an 8-month affair with somebody. Raquel is having an affair with her man while also sitting there smiling in her face and going shopping and on girls' trips with her. You understand how sick? It's wild. Hold on. Let's bring back up the timeline. Okay. So Sandoval and Raquel made out at Coachella. We know that part. Tom has been saying that he's going to leave Ariana for months, but has a lot of excuses as to why he couldn't. The house, the restaurant, blah, 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 blah. Yeah. They tell each other they love each other. Now, Super Vixen said Sandoval was wearing a lightning bolt earring on Watch What Happens Live, along with the lightning bolt necklace. Yes. Well, we found out, of course, because everyone is talking about this. Let me take the banner off really quick. They have been wearing the same necklace. I'm wondering if Ariana is kicking herself in the teeth for not noticing this. Because
I mean, what were they trying to do? They're sitting there leaving clues, right?
Right.
And it seems like they were trying to do it on purpose. Now looking back at it, you know, and then for her to leave the Tom Tom sweatshirt with Andy this week after Watch What Happens Live before this all broke is like,
okay.
Is this like some maniacal plan that they sat down and drew out? Because it seems like there's a motive behind every single thing Tom and Raquel have done.
Literally all Bravo fans right now are doing this. No, I mean, honestly, that's how they are. And there's one person who's waiting because Ariana's hurting. Sheena is very sweet. She's like kind of, is it docile? Is that the word? Like just very like meek kind of. And then there's this person.
Meek.
And she is ready. And she is so ready. There's nothing like there's so much like misplaced aggression and anger with everything she's going through with Randall that she's like, oh, I have to fight his ass in court. I get to fight you on camera. You're going to make me money. He is costing me money. So I'm going to take my aggression and go over here. Now, what happened on this night? Okay. So Wednesday night, Ariana and Logan, our friend, right? And a few other people, Brad, you know, like the people who like hang out with all the Vanderpump Rules people, they're supporting.
And most of them are a lot of them are Ariana's like true friends too. So they're
legitimately like, and I don't want to take that away and say that they're not. They definitely are, but they're all supporting. And she's sitting there and she's recording him and she's smiling, dancing, and the video is sick. And then what happened was 20 minutes later, because Tom Sandoval, the true narcissist that one could be, douche, asked her, can you take my phone and record me while I'm performing on stage? Okay, so she did. So Raquel sent her.
But also, why would you give Ariana the phone to record if you know damn well what's on the phone, stuff that has been sent to you? That's just like, you keep the phone away. Because that's like, it's almost like, do you want her to know? Do you want her to find out like that? Because everything that they've done has been pretty damn shitty.
Yeah, no. So what happened was, listen, she's recording, she gets a video. In the video, it's Raquel allegedly touching herself to Tom. Okay. So Ariana knows that Raquel is doing Watch What Happens Live in New York with Sheena. She sees the video. She texts Raquel and she said, "You're dead to me." And she sent the video. She sent it to herself, her phone, and she took the video and texted it to Raquel, said, "You're dead to me." Then Raquel was with Sheena that night at a restaurant, at a bar. And she also texted it to Sheena and said, "Look at this shit." So Sheena calls out Raquel in this moment, right? And she's like, "Bitch, okay, what's going on?" So they have this sort of conversation. Ariana calls Raquel, and Raquel's like, "Listen, like, I'm sorry. Yes, it's true." Ariana's bawling. She's crying. We're at like an event. We're drinking. Our emotions are high. And I just found out that my relationship of 9 years has come crumbling down. Of course she's crying. So Sheena asked, like, "What's going on?" And she's like, "Did you really do this? Did you do this?" And Raquel came clean, and they got into a back and forth, like a heated back and forth, Sheena and Raquel. And the rumor became, especially because Raquel's sister took to social media and said that Sheena punched Raquel in the face. I call Sheena and I asked, "Is this true?" Before I talk about it. What happened? She's like, "Adam, you know me. You've known me for 10 years. I would never put my hands on somebody. Like, that's just not me. I didn't punch somebody in the face." And I'm like, that's what I thought. Especially, she didn't hook up with Brock. Like, as much as it's going to affect Sheena because that's her best friend, Raquel was also Sheena's best friend. So she's looking at Raquel right now like, "You dumb butt. I'm not going to just like assault you in New York City when I have my baby to go home to." So this whole story didn't sit well with me, but of course everybody's running with it, including, again, Sheena's sister. So I wanted to bring this up really quick. Charlie Burnett said, "At the end of the day, no one deserves to feel this gut punch. To say I'm disappointed."
Sheena's sister.
Oh, sorry. Raquel's sister.
Raquel's sister. Yeah.
Sorry. Charlie said, "At the end of the day, no one deserves to feel this gut punch. To say I'm disappointed would be an understatement." Her sister is Kate Couture. She said, "Nor punched in the face." Charlie said, "You dumb effing, see you next Tuesday. Get the fuck off my page before I drag you and your motherfucking sister. Show her that."
Oh, I'm eating my words again because I was like, why the hell is Charlie still on the show? 4 episodes in, we cue Charlie.
I know. We don't even like Charlie.
We don't even like Charlie. But now I'm like, damn it, you guys are good because now she's pulling me in. But this is crazy.
Okay, so hold on. Are you ready?
Okay, I'm ready.
I don't mean to keep you guys this whole time on this, but I just want to give you this is literally okay, real quick, side piece tidbit. Me and Shaylee were in the car on Friday and we had to go to the P.O. box and we picked up a package from Krista Marie and a few of our amazing subscribers, Adam's family, and something that was for Pops. So we're driving and Shaylee's like, "Adam, you really need to just start taking Saturdays and Sundays off." She's like, "You need to focus on just balance and being with your husband and work. Life is a balance." And I was like, you're right. And then this breaks and I'm like all weekend, like, what's going on?
It's so different too, right? Because our phones are blowing up. We're hearing from people. I mean, we already said this, but we're hearing from people we used to work with,
Yeah.
So this is crazy. And there are even people we used to work with a long time ago are messaging us and like, "Did you see what happened?" And people are really, really taking it personally because everyone feels they've been duped by Tom Sandoval and Tom Schwartz at this point, because I feel like Tom Schwartz knew.
Hold on.
Okay.
It gets better.
But
worse
now?
Because I'm not celebrating this. I want to say really quick. I find these two, my friend Logan called them subhumans and disgusting. Right now, I understand people make mistakes. I don't know their side of it. I don't want to call them any names. I just want to talk about what the facts are and what we've heard. And what I do want to say is, I just want to kind of give a testament to the person that we know, who is Ariana, and just know that she is such a sweet person that would never deserve something. Nobody deserves this, but if you guys knew her,
especially her,
yes, her heart is so big. So, okay, so now this breaks out. Now Andy Cohen is involved. Lisa Vanderpump's involved. Andy Cohen is like, "How many parts is too many parts for the Pump Rules reunion?" LVP said, 1, I'm not sure. My heart is up to it. And he said, "Well, you have time to get a pacemaker because I need you." And he ends up
we're sending the jet. You will be sitting down with me on Wednesday.
I'm booking you for Wednesday. Meanwhile, this is all going down. And then boom, let's go back to the show for a second. So then there's rumors that Ariana storms the stage and stops the show and makes this big scene. Not true.
I didn't hear that. Okay, that wasn't true. No. That would have been something I would have done.
Okay, I would listen. I would have done it too. I would have I would have been like a hurricane. I would have thrown all of the equipment on the ground. I would have been like, "You want to see Tom Sandoval in the most
You
extras?
want to see the most extra,
Extras?
bitch? You're about
Yeah.
to get it.
You want extra? You know what I mean? Like I would have
Yeah.
been like that. So there was a bystander, somebody who was there, let's say a patron, who was there watching the show, and he recorded it. Of course. So after Tom finished his set, it wasn't but 20 minutes later that she went behind the scenes. She was crying. She went and they all left. They exited because she waited for him to be done. And this is when everything went down. Now, what happened was from what I heard, I believe she did not go home with him that night. He ended up going home. And then she stayed with her friends. And then on Friday, he ended up packing his bags. Everybody was saying, Tom Sandoval is moving out. He's packing his bags. I'm like, no, this narcissistic fool is not moving out. He's not packing his bags to move out, fool. If you guys know Tom Sandoval, he is the most extra. Even when he showed up to our Spilling Tea Live LA date, he had 2 suitcases. He travels. He has makeup. There's a lot that goes into being
He
Tom
has his
Sandoval.
ego. He has his... You know, I mean, this guy, you know what I was saying on Grace Report last week? I was on her show and we were talking Vanderpump Rules, right? And we're kind of assessing, you know, the different characters and how much they've changed. I mean, we've seen Raquel go from this little big brown-eyed Bambi to shots behind the bar, drinking so much she's slamming on the camera, you know, and stuff like we've watched her change, and it's crazy. Grace was pointing this out. And then I was talking about, you know, it's so interesting because Tom, he's always had this like little bit of an ego, but like lately I've been looking at him like, dude, you in your own mind are a living legend. This guy thinks he like is just king of the world. And yeah, Tom Sandoval and the Most Extras, they're kind of entertaining. They're not that great. You know, they're not like the Yachtly Crew or any other cover band.
Which is so funny because hold on, I have another side bit. I'm sorry, guys, if I take up an hour giving you the timeline. I apologize. I want to make sure that everybody knows because we've been covering it.
We need to go through it though, because that's going to help people to assess just how crazy this is.
Exactly. Shaylee, thank you so much. 2,227 watching and 371 likes. What the f is that? I didn't cheat on anybody. Guys, smash that like button. Show some love. But no, seriously, thank you, Shaylee. Also, we have a few new members who are going to be joining us tonight. Jason, what time is the members only live? 7?
So we're doing members only live at 7 o'clock. We're a week behind. We were supposed to do it last week. I'm so glad we're a week behind so we can do it tonight. We have a little more info that we do want to share at the members only because we do have callers. We do give a lot of information that we probably shouldn't on members only, and we'll tell you who we have coming up on the show this week too to talk about.
Oh, fun. Situation. Susan May, Shaylee, how do I become a member? Jason, can you answer this?
Yeah, if you go to youtube.com/UpandAdamLive, right next to subscribe, there's a button that says join, and that will take you to memberships if you guys want to join. And we just love our members only live because they turn into chaos. Usually
they turn into chaos. Okay,
some guys, we can't even keep up. All right, we have to take them down sometimes.
I mean, we have to take them down. Let's get back into
all right. The timeline so we can assess this crazy ass situation,
the sickness of it all. Look at her standing right next to Ariana like, girl, I'm sleeping with your man. Look at her hanging out with Tom like, girl, I'm sleeping with your man.
This makes me not even excited to watch Below Deck tonight. Damn it.
I know.
I just want to keep talking about this.
Okay, so getting back to it, where did I leave off? They ended up leaving, right? Yeah, okay, Tom Sandoval and the Most Extras. So they end up leaving. So he packs his bags for Orange County, and that's when she came home. That's when Kristen Doty filmed the video. You see paparazzi photos. Paparazzi came outside. Their home is in Valley Village. Her house is right down the street. Originally, her and Tom lived right next door. Tom and Katie sold their home. So now it's just Tom. At the end of the street is Jax Taylor and Brittany Cartwright, all on the same street, of course. So she ends up going home after he goes to Orange County. Kristen Doty comes, Katie Maloney, Sheena, Dana Cathan, who we know from season 8 of Vanderpump Rules, who ended up walking away from the show. Everyone's coming to support. Kristen films this video with her, and she's like, I just love you. I'm supporting you, and which was amazing for her. But he's still filming this show in Orange County, and he ends up making it back with the makeup on his face still. So while he's making it back, you see her in this photo, and I'll take the banner off really quick. She has socks on. She's rushing to get the hell out of there because she doesn't want to come face to face with him. And obviously, if you see this photo where she's flipping people off, it just goes to show you that she's not in the mood. So people are like, why are you, I saw on Twitter, some people were like, why is she running? Why is she running away from Tom and the problem? I'm like, she might not be running. She might be stopping herself from catching a charge from taking a lamp and cracking his
That's
ass
how
over
I
the head.
look at it. You know, when something like this gets exposed or happens, every party needs to take a breath and like 3 steps back, because that can get out of control really quickly. So I'm actually kind of glad they took a little space before we saw, you know, we don't need anyone else going to jail.
Right. And it's wild too to think that this was the exact same night. So again, what happened too with them is they got into the conversation. So Sheena called out Raquel outside of the bar, and she called her out about all of this. And she's like, hi, Jolene.
Hi, Jolene.
Jolene's been covering this too. Jolene Lunzer is, guys, she's everything. She was on stage with us too. She's hilarious. Go check her out. Subscribe. Raquel and Sheena calls out Raquel, and she's like, how could you do this? They had a heated discussion. Sheena did not lay hands on her. Okay, so then they both separately go back to the same hotel, both separately go to the airport, and they fly home. Okay, I don't know if somebody changed the flight or whatever.
Yeah, maybe.
So then everybody, this all happens Wednesday. Okay, we don't find out about this until Friday. So what is going on this day, Thursday? Everyone is calling Vanderpump Rules producers. Lisa Vanderpump is now on it. We have 24 hours to pick up the cameras and get this shit together because we want the reactions. We want it all. On Twitter, they're like, oh my God, season 11 was just confirmed. No, season 10 just broke. We were just at the premiere. They have enough time, just like anything else, where they can put this at the end of the season and kind of segue into it. We've seen it on New Jersey. We've seen it on Potomac. We've seen it on New York, Beverly Hills. So many different franchises, right?
I believe, didn't they pick up the cameras on Friday?
Yeah, they picked
if I'm not
up
mistaken. Yeah,
only for Lala. So they call Lala and they say, we need you to sit down with Raquel. And Lala's like, so excited. And she's like, I'm calling Glam. And then she's sitting there and they're doing her hair. And I'm messaging, talking with Lala. And she's like, you're giving me life with these posts. And I'm showing you're laughing because I'm like, total team Ariana, what is going on? And she's talking to me and she's like, I'm about to eat. I'm about to eat good. I'm about to eat this bitch alive. And we're like, okay. And half the fans are like, Lala, you shut up. Shut up and sit down because you are the same person. And the other fans
but
are like,
for this moment, let's let her do that, because I feel like, you know, in this kind of circle of chaos where everyone's kind of done the same thing and screwed over one of their fellow friends by sleeping with that person, this person. This is just a little different. And I tried to explain too how I felt. We're talking about almost a decade of a relationship. 2 people who were like really, you thought would be really meant for each other, right? Kristen was not Tom's like person. You know what I mean? And you really rooted for Tom and Ariana because you're like, this is the first relationship that I think is going to last. This is the first one. And you see it. And then all of a sudden, this happened. Sorry, go back to it. Sorry.
No.
In this moment, we need Lala to go not only talk to Raquel, but kind of let's unleash the fires.
Exactly.
Hell.
Guys, so many new members today. Again, like the banner said at the bottom, we are doing our members only live tonight at 7 p.m. And that's where this is all public. We're watching or you guys are watching this. Vanderpump Rules producers are watching this. The cast is watching this. I tagged everybody. They know we're doing this. I talked to them, but our members only are more intimate conversations. It's $2.99 a month. We do it twice a month, but it's like more personal.
I'm prepping for the members only right now. Yeah, I'm just trying to like get my head in the right space because they're fun.
I wanted to bring this up too. Jolene said hi, and then somebody said, wait, where was it? Did you delete it?
Delete what?
Oh, somebody said you left it on blue, Adam, the shade towards Jolene. I'm like, I didn't shade Jolene. I love Jolene. Norma said, I'm sure he lied to Raquel. His relationship, Raquel was foolish and will forever be slut shamed. Sadly, I feel Tom will be okay in the end and not Raquel. And I agree with this. And it takes 2 to tango.
No, it does take 2 to tango, but we were just talking about the everlasting living legend, narcissist ego that here we go. Rock star in his own mind. Like we have this guy who he will be okay because he sees himself as like, ah, man, like I fell in love. Like, he's going to be the victim in this because he is that narcissistic.
Right. I mean, and I'm sure, listen, and he will be the victim in it all. And
In
I
his
think
own
that's
mind.
in his own mind. Yeah, absolutely. But so then we fast forward, producers call Sheena and or not Sheena, Lala, and they say, hey, listen, we need you. We need you to sit down. So she's like, I'm going to eat. And I'm like, get her. And she's like, I'm going to get her. And I'm like, get her. Like in it. I'm in it. I feel like, ooh, we finna eat. Okay. So then she goes and she films with her that night and she posts on her stories. I asked Ariana, am I allowed to just go all in or do I have to hold back? Ariana said, do whatever you got to do, girl. Like, you can do whatever you want. I don't care. Right now, I don't like the girl. I don't care what you do. I'm not protecting her. I'm done protecting her. So she goes out, films with Raquel, probably ate her ass up. And then they all go out and all of the friends rally around Ariana and take her out to a concert that night where I don't know who sings it. Is it Tavlo or something where it's like, I'm a cool girl. I'm a cool. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Whatever. I don't know. I don't know what it's called. I don't know what she's called. Sorry. So I'm like basic, guys. I listen to like top 10. So it's like usually Ariana Grande, Taylor Swift, or Britney. I don't know. But so then Lala goes to meet up with Ariana and all of her friends. So they already filmed this. And Friday the cameras were only for Raquel and Lala. Now, Saturday and Sunday, the cameras were also present, but they were present those days to catch confessionals, to catch pickup shots, to catch reactions. So they wanted Katie's reaction, Sheena's reaction. They wanted every single person who's a part of the cast to tell us, what do you think? What did you know? Did you know that there was an 8-month affair happening? What the, right? And in our minds, we're thinking, guys, almost 3,000 in the room, smash the like button. This is crazy. We love you guys. Our minds, we're thinking and wondering, like, this is me. This is me right now. I'm thinking like, what is going on? Okay. Did they make a mistake? Did he just think like, okay, like I can get away with it? Or did they want to be together? Like, what was the case? They want to be together.
That's just, they better want to be together after all of this. They better. And they better damn well make it work.
Yeah. They better make it work. And I mean, this is the only thing that can help them right now is if they stay together. If they stay together, it looks like a love story that was navigated the wrong way. If they don't stay together, it looks like you just shit on your relationship.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So now we have Lisa Vanderpump and Andy Cohen, who are going to be talking about this on Wednesday. And we've heard about the affair has been going on for a while. And now they're trying to navigate this on Vanderpump Rules. Like you said, Raquel might have just single-handedly saved the season. And that's
No, not the season. I said Raquel has single-handedly at least promised us 2 more seasons of Vanderpump Rules, maybe 3.
Exactly.
This is a carryover kind of thing. This isn't just like you forget about it. And like you said, we're not waiting till season 11 for this. This is happening now. Cameras have been picked up. They want everyone's reaction to it. This reunion is going to be the highest rated reunion since Andy Cohen promised us he asked the hard questions to Erica.
I mean,
and these questions, if he doesn't ask them, Lala will, Ariana will, Sheena will, somebody else will. So
the Vanderpump Rules cast can comfortably go out to dinner tonight. Go buy yourself some new clothes.
And do not pull a Juan Dixon and don't show up because you feel uncomfortable at the reunion. Everybody has to be there. It's going to be
crazy
chaos. Yeah.
But you guys all can sit back, relax, and know your finances are okay because you just secured more seasons on the back of Ariana. To be fair. Yes. Okay. So my question is now going through this, Tom Sandoval issues a statement. If you go online right now and you guys go to Shorts and Sandy's is literally going through it. If you guys go and Instagram DM them, whatever the case is, you'll see where they have an automatic response of like, please don't attack us based off of one person. Okay. So you go through and you see right now, you can see my screen.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You see people are posting, Saw the same roach that others have mentioned in their comments. The SpongeBob SquareFace
Lord.
roach was really trying hard, and it was obvious. I kept hearing what I thought was Freddy Krueger scratching a chalkboard, only to find out it was the owner's cover band playing in the background. If you can skip this place, there's a new shop opening up called Something About Her. You will love it. The ambiance is much nicer there. There aren't snakes and roaches being slimy and stank. Good luck next time, Tom. I hear Taco Bell is hiring. P.S. Greg's going to be so mad.
And that's the other thing we were talking about too, is that we were kind of looking at this season. Is Lisa and Ken, are they going to come save the day? Is Lisa Vanderpump going to step in and save the day in here? Because of Tom's statement, we know that that's not going to happen, right? They still have their business partner, Greg. They still have Brett, who's working there. So this is its own thing. This is crazy. I mean, I don't like when people don't attack their business because there's a full staff of people there who have jobs, who need jobs, who are, or whatever. I understand this guy's an ass, and yeah, the business doesn't look great from here. It doesn't look like it has longevity after your family just invested what, $250,000 into this business, and now you go and do that. You think people are going to want to come there? No, they're going to be hitting up that sandwich shop that's about to open in West Hollywood that I'm sure Lisa might try to back at this point.
Yeah, 100%. And by the way, too, this was posted. Vanderpump Rules Party at Thank You. And also at CC Loves You. You posted something. I accidentally, and you mentioned it to me. I didn't, it wasn't tagged right for CC. So I just want to give a huge shout out to CC Loves You on Instagram. She covers it. She kills it. And she is one of the best. And you can follow her for everything. Honestly,
Agreed.
love her. And that was just an oversight. So I just want to apologize. Vanderpump Rules Party. Schwartz holding the hinges down at Schwartz and Sandy's tonight. He's going table to table, greeting people, and the restaurant is full. So why are they saying that it's being boycotted? It's a packed house tonight. And you can see where he's having to work the room. And I think, you know, they're saying boycotted and they're saying packed house. I just want to kind of go through this for a second, because you and I worked in hospitality. We understand what this means. What it means is, we're boycotting anybody who's not in Los Angeles right now is going on Yelp, and they are being so hard Team Ariana that they are supporting her cocktail book, her at-home cocktails, and they are bashing the shit out of Schwartz and Sandy's on Yelp. And then anybody who is in LA who's invested in this drama is showing up at Schwartz and Sandy's and Tom because they want to see, can we see something? Are they going to come in? If Schwartz is there, can I ask him about it? But then I'm looking at it and I'm like, Schwartz, I feel bad that you're the one who has to do the damage control, but hold on. Do I feel bad? Because you also had this in your back pocket the entire time. And this is exactly what the statement said. Hold on. Tom Sandoval. Do you remember?
This was just not a good look for him. His first thing to say that
it looks like shit.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Norma said, should I go to Schwartz and Sandy's this week?
Yeah, like absolutely. Take photos, send them to us, please.
Can you take a vlog and then we'll post it for you?
There we go.
Okay. So do you remember when we're watching Real Housewives of Miami? Guys, 2,900 in the room. Smash that like button. You guys are the best. Love you. When we're watching the Real Housewives of Miami and we have Adriana and she's sharing, you know, about this, how she feels. And she texts Alexia after she F's up and she mentions Frankie and she's like, my bad. This was a my bad. It was the equivalent of a my bad. So,
okay.
Tom's non-apology statement. Yeah. Hey, I fully understand and deserve your anger and disappointment towards me, but please leave Schwartz, my friends, and family out of the situation. Schwartz specifically only found out about this very recently and most definitely did not condone my actions, which means we admit the actions. We admit that we're having an affair. We admit like this, and this also reads like I'm going with Raquel. Me and Ariana are not getting back together. Already it reads like that.
Right.
This was a very personal thing. Also, Schwartz and Sandy's might have my name on it, but also there are 3 other partners and 20 employees who especially rely on the restaurant for income for them and their families. Just like Tom, I'm a small part of a much bigger thing. Please direct your anger towards me and not them. They did nothing wrong. I'm sorry that my partners, Greg, Brett, and Schwartz, and our employees have to suffer for my actions. I will be taking a step back and taking a hiatus out of respect for my employees and partners. I need some time to address everything else. Sorry for everything.
I need some time. It's that God ego. What do they say? Edging God out. EGO, ego. Crazy. As much as I agree with him that, Schwartz and Sandy's, he is a small part of it, like he is Tom Tom. And I'm curious to see, I mean, you can't really just change the name, but Tom and Tom only own 2.5% a piece of Tom Tom. They together own 5% of Tom Tom. The other,
that was at the very beginning. I don't know if that changed after they opened the second part.
The second part isn't with them. They didn't invest in the second part.
Allegedly, we don't know that.
Allegedly, yeah.
Don't say like you.
So,
yeah.
Allegedly.
But yes, I get what you're saying, and this is just one big shit show. At the end of the day, we're going to see how this continues to play out. Everyone is going to be watching Vanderpump Rules through a totally different lens at this point, because they're going to be waiting to see, are there signs? And producers aren't dumb. They're like,
they can still go back and quickly edit future episodes to give us those clues, because they're going to go back and they're going to sit on everything, all the footage they have, and they're going to look for those specific things that they could like clue us in on leading up to these reactions. I am so freaking thrilled for season 10 of Vanderpump Rules. I already was happy about it and it's fun, but now this is going to be a roller coaster ride for the rest of the season.
No, if you think about it though, Jason, you're right, because like Andy Cohen had to have said it's always in the back footage. There was a interview from one of the producers from Bravo who said that she feels like her producers and her editors are like ferrets or mongooses or something like that. And she's like, they get in there and they catch these little sound bites or these hot mic moments, and they have to go through all of the footage and filter, and they find like these little treasures. Andy Cohen definitely said, go back through the footage. Let's see if we can find any clues, any signs.
And thank goodness these editors and producers and stuff, they love doing what they do, right? You would think an editor would love to do what they do, because now they're probably just going to get paid more to go back and do what they do best. Make a good edit.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Evolution's busy right now.
How can we sit and watch the rest of the season knowing all of this? I don't know. I mean, but we will. I guess Sandoval wasn't thinking about his business and his employees, was he? That's the thing, is like, you're putting out a freaking statement. You did not once address Ariana in that statement. And sure, people are pissed about this, and I can understand. I'm sure you've had conversations with her off to the side, but you put yourself on a very public platform called Bravo TV, and now you don't just owe an apology to Ariana in some weird effed up way where you might think this is my relationship, but out. You opened your relationship to America and the rest of the world. Everyone watches. You owe a public apology to Ariana.
You also have demanded this from other people when you were in the same situation. So only makes sense.
Yeah.
It only makes sense.
Okay. I can't believe that she has no home to rec, that she made that no home to rec comment knowing what's up. Ugh. Yeah.
Jeez.
We should stop condoning cheaters. He could have at least said this is a private matter, and we'd be like, okay, maybe. No, I agree. I totally agree. But there was nothing like that. This just came off like a, please leave my friends and family alone. That is not anything about Ariana. And honestly, one, I could see where she'll never go back. Two, she's probably thinking, what the hell do I do with my life? I remember when we went to your birthday party, all of the employees from Pump threw you a birthday party at the top of whatever hotel, SLS, was it?
No, the Standard.
The Standard. So on the top of the Standard, and Tom Sandoval showed up. Remember? Mm-hmm. And I was just telling him, I was like, man, it's good to see you. And I was like, so proud of you. Like, you bought a $2 million home. He's like, 2.4. And I was like,
ego.
But that's what I mean. It's like 2.4. And I'm like, okay. I mean, my whole point is, I don't.
Thanks for the correction. I didn't check Zillow this morning and see what your house was fucking worth.
Sorry about that. But you bought over a $2 million home. Like, who gives a shit, right? So there are those moments. And also, I saw a couple comments where people are like, Adam, it's so interesting that you're talking negatively. Guys, we just hit 3,000, by the way. You're talking negatively about Tom when Tom joined you on stage for Spilling Tea Live LA. I'm not talking. I don't have a dog in this fight. I can see, and so can Jason, and so can all of you who are watching this. We can see what is right, and what is wrong is wrong. Okay? So we're just addressing it like this. Right? Wrong. That statement, wrong. The affair, wrong. The lightning bolt matching necklaces and showing up and her supporting him in silence, sleeping in his house, sleeping in the next room, hooking up with him while Ariana's sleeping, and her sleeping at the house while Ariana is tending to her grandfather who is passing away, and she's at the house sleeping with him.
Did he think that was a good idea after Kristen and Jax did something very similar? Like, did you learn this behavior because it happened to you? You feel like you have to do it to someone else? Why is every single person, well, I'm not going to say every single person on Bravo, specifically the show, or is a little bit of a hypocrite?
Yeah. I mean, but also it's like, I get what, guys, all the new members,
So
thank
wild.
you.
It's so wild. This is all so wild.
I get what Norma said too, is like, I feel bad because I think that he's going to come out the hero. Like, it's always the douchebag guy that comes out the hero. And then it's the girl who was, they always call her the other woman. And then she's treated like garbage. And then she's wearing this, like, that red A thing on her. And now people look at her and they shame her forever for it. And I think that's completely effed up.
Scarlet letter.
You're not stupid. We have this whole stupid persona on Vanderpump Rules. I get it. Paris Hilton did it. Like, what? That's hot. What's a Walmart? Like, places they sell walls?
I mean, I don't know how I feel about this because this is what we were talking about with Graves. Oh God, sorry. I just almost like threw up in my mouth. I'm like looking at look at how many people are in the room. Jesus. I just looked at the numbers and I was like, holy shit, there's 3,000 guys. Thanks for joining us for this, and hit that like button. Helps us out a lot. Okay. So, just the whole evolution of Raquel has just kind of gone crazy because you don't pretend to be that. I don't want to say dumb, but you don't pretend to be that airheaded. And there's no way she was faking that. There was just like no way. Even like some of the things she says now, like using words that don't make sense in sentences and stuff like that.
Right.
I just think that something, and I think the confidence came from Tom Sandoval and this affair. I think that's where all of this is coming from. I thought it was maybe her anger towards James and just, breaking up that relationship and then being like, you know what, I need to go be a different person. But then going with Tom and watching this whole timeline lay out, you see why she's so confident this season.
Exactly. TT Doll said, honey, Adam and Jason, I'm back after a month and a half in rehab. I love you. TT Doll.
Oh, love you too.
All the best and all of the positive energy and healing vibes. And welcome back. Welcome back to the shit show, because that's exactly what this is. But we welcome you back. I love TT Doll. Chris Mack said, pump rules and up and Adam forever. Yo, oh yeah, Sandoval, you're such a okay.
Oh, disease and shorts, just marry me from Scotland. Ooh, making risotto. Nice.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yum, yum, yum.
Okay. Yes, and congratulations, Sister S. Said congratulations, TT Doll. Yes, absolutely. Congratulations to you. And again, a happy, warm welcome back. And you came right back into all of the drama. Now, what Norma is saying too about this, the way that people are going to treat Raquel and her being so like on TV, like, I'm not stupid, la la. If you talk to her in person, she's a very intelligent girl. She's very smart. She's very, like, the way that this wasn't smart. She knows what she's doing. To make an excuse and say like she doesn't, she does. She f***ed up. She made a mistake. She fell in love apparently with somebody that she shouldn't have, which would be Tom Sandoval. He fell in love with somebody that he shouldn't have. An affair happened. It was born. And now we're publicly talking about it. Do I think that she should get any more shame than he should? No, I think both of you guys effed up. You made a bad decision. But now I think the most appropriate part would be to apologize. Apologize to all of those who have been affected, because it's not the worst thing in the world to fall in love with somebody. That's not bad. That's like, shit happens. But to leave an aftermath and hurt everybody along the way, like for Raquel, I think what fans are trying to understand is like, this season, you single-handedly almost hooked up with every single guy, and this is not a shame, every single guy on the cast, and you didn't care. Like Tom Schwartz, that's okay. He's getting a divorce. Katie's not your friend. We get it. You can do that. Peter, I don't even need to mention Peter. Oliver Saunders, Oliver Garcelle's son is at home. He goes home to the mother of his children, who he is married to. You got caught in a scandal hooking up with him. And now we have Tom and Ariana. At what point, like, we understand that you're hurting because you're going through a breakup and you're crying to James, like, I thought my life was going to be different. But just because your life is going through turmoil, I don't think that the best thing in your mind is like, how do I address this? What is the solution here? Oh, let me just go fuck up everybody else's lives and relationships. That's not how you handle it. Is it?
Apparently, for Raquel,
Oh.
that's exactly how you do it.
Oh, okay. Norma Maldonado said, my son's fiance went to school with Raquel and said she was bullied and dumped by a prom date. She was also not too smart, not an act. Tom gave her life. I'm not, Norma, I'm also saying, I'm not saying, no, I am saying it is an act. It's an act. She's not stupid. I know her in person, seen her around. We've seen her around for a long time. She's not stupid. It's an act. She talks, she gives me Whitney vibes from Salt Lake City, because people slam Whitney and pretend like, what? Like when she talks and she digests and kind of thinks about her words before she spits them out, she's not as like quick as the rest of them, but she always articulates still and she gets the message across. People slam her and call her like not the smartest, and she's very, very smart. She just wants a second to process, digest before she regurgitates the information or her rebuttal that is coming out of her mouth. That's how she operates. Raquel is the same way. She's not stupid. She has a college degree. She went to school. She's very, like, if you had a conversation with her, they have to edit her to be, what? Just like Jax. Every moment that we get from Jax, Jax is an asshole. Jax is the villain of the show. Everybody needs a villain. It's an ensemble cast. We need one of everyone. We need like the all-American, just amazing person who.
Well, now we have who do we have that's not, who hasn't cheated ever? We went from you know what I mean? So now we have everything that's one. Everybody's a cheater.
Could be payback after learning about Lala and James. Payback to who? Ariana didn't do anything.
Very true.
But thank you for the super chat. Chelsea said, who is Julia and why do people keep saying Tom cheated on Raquel Ariana with her? Great. Is there more? I haven't even heard
Probably.
that.
You can add that to the timeline.
Add that to the timeline, girl. Okay, hold on. There's more. New member. Hey. Shady Millennial said, what happened to Raquel this season? How did this seemingly innocent girl from last season turn into Vanderpump and Dump of this season?
Seriously. Like, what the hell happened? This is not the same. It's not the same person. There's been a whole character change here.
Yes. Oh, and look who's in the chat. Hi, Peyton.
Hey, Peyton.
Okay. So, love Peyton.
I love that.
Okay. So now, guys, we're going to keep talking about this as it comes out and more information is going to come out. They're talking about talking on Radio Andy all week about this. And there will, of course, be like new details that emerge, because as this continues to go on, they're going to have to talk to people, Tom and Raquel. They're going to be like, listen, this is what happens. Their stories are either going to add up or they're not. People are going to now put those two stories together and be like, okay, now one of you guys are lying. They're either going to end up together or this is going to break them. I don't care either way, but what I do know is this broke a poor innocent girl who really didn't deserve it. And she's left in the aftermath of all of the shit of really poor decisions. And okay, it happens. This is life. But now I think, if anything, both of you guys, shit happens, life happens, should probably apologize. That's all. Right?
Agreed. Okay.
Oh, also, guys, we got Raquel's PR plan, and we will be posting that later. Wait till you get a load of that. I want to talk about
what a map of how to like move forward. You know, that's crazy. Yeah, you have to talk about this.
She thinks it's a map on how to move forward. People, they're not gonna. No. Peyton, thank you so much. Love you back.
Oh, wait, what the hell? Where'd you go? Oh, Adam's on his way back. Thank you so much, Peyton, for the super chat. We love you. We miss you a lot.
I accidentally exited my way out, guys. I'm so excited and just into this. Not excited in a good way of like, I'm so excited there's an affair, but I'm like in it. I went to swipe over and I swiped myself out. Listen, just like I said, an affair happens, things happen, swiping out happens. But I wanted to bring up something else for you, because we will continue to keep covering this, of course. Guys, smash that like button, show some love. Heather Dubrow, her 12-year-old has publicly come out. She publicly came out on behalf of her 12-year-old. Her 12-year-old is now transitioning and has now identified as Ace. Okay? So she wanted to bring this and say, listen, we just want to kind of share this with the world. You know, I have my other daughter who's going into college, and my son, and I have another daughter who's identifying as a lesbian. And now I have my 12-year-old child who is transitioning into a boy and wants to be identified as Ace. Okay, Well, Kelly Dodd and Rick Leventhal decided to cover this. Did you see this or no?
Yes.
What was your takeaway? Like, what did you think about it?
I think the delivery was a bit off. I understand what she was saying at the very beginning. It's like, okay, this is, first of all, this is a 12-year-old, right? So wanting the world to know, who wants the world to know? Did the 12-year-old, does Ace want the world to know? Or did Heather Dubrow want the world to know? That's just kind of like where I looked at it. I'm like, or is she making that because she's supporting him? I don't know. Listen, Gia Giudice came out recently and said, you know, I wish I didn't get this tattoo with my mom when I was like, whatever, 14, whatever. I wish I waited till I was old enough to do that. So once you go through something, it's really hard to turn it back. However, I believe the way we saw Heather on the previous season of Real Housewives of Orange County, she is very, very open to listening to her kids. And
Right.
only the mother and the family knows how to support and knows how to move forward with that. There are many conversations that go on before that decision gets finally made. And I'm just happy that at least her family, I'm sorry, his family is being supportive of that decision and seeing how to move forward. I think it's very, very hard. I don't remember a lot from when I was like 12, and I wouldn't want to make a decision for myself at that age.
Right.
But at the same time, if that is truly how you feel on the inside, it's like, you know, then yeah, at least they have the support, and they have the money and the privilege to seek out the right kind of solution and counseling to move forward with that decision if that's what he chooses to do.
Well, and I think what the conversation was too is I don't think that anybody, and you know, if you don't however you feel, you can't tell someone how to feel. And it's really hard to understand where someone's coming from when you're not going through it. But if you have, I think Heather's saying, I have a 12-year-old who
Mhm.
identifies as a boy. So we're going to acknowledge this process. We're going to support him through this process. And we're going to give him the tools to navigate this in the best way that we can. Like you said, almost like the privilege that comes behind because they have the tools, they have the money, they can, whatever Ace needs, they can do that. So
Absolutely. I mean, look, listen, I think it's too, you really do know who you are at a young age. It's just the decisions that are made, you know, sometimes about this, I can't really speak on, you know, but I can speak on someone who I've known I was gay since I was a very, 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 very young.
right,
Okay. Like for sure, 100%, like that is me. So if he is feeling this way so much, like I'm glad they are able to support him.
right.
However, I felt like Heather announcing it was almost as like Kelly's maybe delivery on her show. You know, it's like it just maybe Heather shouldn't have. I don't know if that was a conversation with Ace of like, do we need to do this? I need to say this because I'm on the Real Housewives. You know what I mean?
Well, and I'm curious too. I want to know what you guys think. I'm going to play the video that Taste of Reality posted on Instagram. I'm going to play it really quick. Hold on. Hold on.
We will let him tell his own story someday if he chooses to do so.
So why are you doing it, you dumb bee?
Why are you announcing to the world that your 12-year-old daughter wants to be a boy now?
Wait, yeah, why are you? And then she's over here saying she'll talk to the world when she's ready.
If he chooses to do so, well, why are you choosing to do so?
Right.
If he hasn't said he wants to tell the world, why are you telling the world?
Aren't you the parent? I mean, obviously not, because a 12-year-old can make its own decisions.
Yeah, not for nothing, but do you really think a 12-year-old should be making decisions about the rest of their life?
Or even putting it out there. That is a private family matter that you should have with your 12-year-old daughter. If
Ace is a 12-year-old child.
Okay. Well, that's again.
Well,
I'm
we know
curious.
there is backstory behind Kelly and Heather, right? There's still so.
Right. I am curious to see. I want to see what people say because, you know, you and I had this conversation. I'm so happy for people who can come out. My cousin came out and many shunned them. They all my best to all. I want to say this. I'm not a parent. Jason's not a parent. We had this conversation yesterday when all of the news was coming out. And I said to Jason, I said, say we had a son or a daughter and our son and daughter or daughter was 12 years old and they came to us and they said, Dad, I don't feel like I am in the right body. That would be such a moment where I would be like, okay, so how do you feel? How can I help you? What do we need to do? Who do we talk to? I would want to do everything in my power to make my kid feel comfortable, happy, to want to embrace themselves, not feel like that they don't belong, but I don't know. I think that I would give them the tools and go through and be like, listen, when you're 18, you're an adult. So we'll make the big decisions. Like we'll go in and we'll do everything together. You want to transition. We want to do all of that. We'll do that together. At 18, I'll be right there holding your hands. Right now, over the next few years, let's do therapy together. Let's have the tougher conversations. And let's kind of just digest and realize that these are permanent decisions. And, if we're doing it, let's do it. We're doing it as a family. I love you. I support the hell out of you. I'm going to do it when you turn, into an adult, and then I'll do it with you. I'll be right there.
I do believe that this is, I think, why Ace felt comfortable to come to his family, because they do have a very supportive and open family. And Heather, as we've seen on the show, has embraced those conversations. It's like when those conversations come up, she's able to have them. That's supportive parenting. At 12 is a little young. That's a little young to maybe start making those decisions, but to each their own. Like I said, I knew I was gay since I was like 2 years old.
So did I.
But
my brother
I
used
don't
to
have
bring
to
over the baseball team, and I was like, woo, woo.
Okay. It's a tough conversation. And, you and I actually, we worked with somebody who transitioned, and we had no idea, and I think we ran into them on the street when we were living, well, I'm not going to say where, but we ran into them on the street, and he told us, like, he left the job that we all worked at in hospitality at a bar, because when people started to find out that he had transitioned, he went from female to male, right? They bullied him. And when we saw him on the street, because we didn't know why he left the bar, like what happened.
Yeah.
And he said to us, we ran into him, we gave him a huge hug. Remember that? And when he told us, we're like, okay, and just that relief that he felt in that moment. Like, I just remember he broke down, he cried, and then we hugged, we had a great conversation. And what I'm trying to say is, it's just everyone feels something different. It's really hard to be in that situation, no matter who you are. It was hard for me to come out. Adam, it was hard for you to come out. It's hard for someone to be in the situation. However, sometimes as a kid, 12 to me is still a kid. You are not clearly there to fully make those decisions, but I feel like getting the necessary counseling and making sure this is the decision that you want is good. And again, they have all the money, they have all the tools, resources in the world to help Ace in that situation. Not everyone does.
Exactly. Kylie Jones, as a trans woman who spent her whole life in the closet till my 30s, knowing very well who I was my entire life, but not having the support, I think it's great that she's supporting her. And
Yeah.
I agree. And I think exactly what Jason just said. Adam, check your DMs. I will check my DMs. I agree with what you're saying, Kylie. And I think that right now, the best thing to do, if I were a parent, I would just be supportive. I would open up the conversation, and I would support as much as we could until you turn into an adult to make those adult decisions. And even when you do, I would be right there as your parent, holding your hand throughout the entire process. I would just open it up. I would encourage the conversation and be like, you get to make those decisions when you're 18. And that is when, until then, let's talk about it. You want to go buy, you want to change your wardrobe, you want to go to therapy, you want to go buy a different, whatever you want. I would just be like, I will give you the world. And then when you become an adult and you get to make those decisions, you get to make those decisions. And that's,
you think, and I love to, it's not comparable, but at the same time, it's comparable in the sense of hiding so much of who I was growing up because I was afraid to even talk to anyone. The same situation. So you really can't put yourself in someone's shoes and know how they're feeling. At least Ace has the support. And I think that's exactly what it needs to be. Conversation. There needs to be support. And then after that, it's really up to them and the parents.
Exactly. All right. So I know that, guys, we've been on for an hour and 10 minutes, and this is crazy.
Yeah, we have
so long. again, smash that like button. Jason, I wanted to just ask you before we end up kind of going out of here. And also thank you to all of the new members. If you're not a new member, you can go over to our YouTube channel. Let me bring this up really quick. You can go over, we have our YouTube channel. You can go to our community tab. And if you're not familiar right now, for everybody who's in the room, with our second channel, Up and Adam 2, go over. We have a little over 14,000 subscribers, but we're going to be dropping a lot more behind the scenes, like you see with this Vanderpump Rules premiere, where we're going behind the scenes. There's a lot of information that we're going to be putting on here, and just more personal opinions, and of course polls every single day. Make sure you smash
behind the scenes, some vlogs. So that'll be fun.
Exactly. But I also wanted to show you, if you guys are not a member, you can go over to the main page and then you can click join right here. Just click join and you can become a member. That way you can join us tonight. Is there anything, only because I'm so wrapped in the Vanderpump Rules of it all, watching last night, the Real Housewives of Potomac, I feel done.
Yeah, I don't like the way the third part of the reunion for me was just my least favorite. We had something to talk about. Bringing Jacqueline was kind of like, whatever. Charisse, we got nowhere. You know what I mean? It was the same conversation. The Chris and Giselle situation, I actually thought was the most interesting thing to hear Giselle kind of clarify in her own way of how things went down. But man, not a good look.
They both have two totally different renditions of that story. Oh,
completely. And who do you believe? Who do you believe? Giselle is sometimes so full of BS. It's unbelievable.
My thing is like, I never want to say that someone, even when we asked Chris, right? He has every right. If he knows in his heart of hearts, this is true, I did not do this, and this is an ambush, like this is a way to get back at my wife and you're using me. If he knows that to be true, and he still said in our interview, however Giselle feels, I don't want to negate that. I don't want to take away from her feelings. Right. I don't want to invalidate those. I can't do that. But what I do know is my truth. And in my truth, I know that I did not do that. So maybe, sometimes people, and I'm not saying that she did this, tell themselves the same story. You come up with a concocted plan. You tell yourself the same story so many times.
This is not the first time that Giselle has concocted a plan.
Right.
Right.
I mean,
it just makes you think. Sometimes you I don't know.
Yeah.
Those Green-Eyed Bandits, though,
overrated. Real Housewives of Potomac needs a cash shakeup. My only thing is, I was waiting for that.
I enjoyed this season, though.
Yeah, I did too. And I was waiting for the Chris Bassett of it all. And, Robin Dixon talking about her prenup. I was like, I don't care, because at this point, after you just effed up the way you did, who knows if you're even going to be on the show. And then we got that little piece on Watch What Happens Live where Ebony K. Williams looks so uncomfortable.
Poor Ebony K. Williams had to sit there through that whole thing. And even she didn't buy the BS coming out of Robin's side. And then she kept changing her story too. So they've never met each other before that. No. I mean, and then she the question continues. And it's like, I don't believe a word you're saying. And then picking up her drink and stirring it around. And you can see her look off into space and kind of decide how to next approach this Andy's questions with another lie. It's crazy. And I did say something. I'm going to eat my own words again. I think it was last week we were talking about the Real Housewives of Potomac, or the week before? I forgot when I was out of town. But we were talking about the Real Housewives of Potomac, and I'm like, you know what? I'm still here for Robin. Next season, I'd love to see this play out. Robin has been activated this season. We did our interview with DJ Richie Sky, and we were talking about that. Mm-hmm. And then just watching her one-on-one, or whatever, the rest of Watch What Happens Live, just watching her deflect about so many things. I don't care, and you brought up something that was really interesting. Now that we don't have Lisa Rinna on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, we're going to watch Erica go kind of by herself without her BFF, right? This would be the perfect opportunity to split up the Green-Eyed Bandits. I don't even know if you need Robin as a friend, to be honest. Let's just see Giselle go into this group on her own without her backup.
Stick her on the couch like this with the face and all. Give us the face. Give us the lonesome. Give us the either sink or swim, girl, because right now you're on an island and you're safe. And we don't want you to feel safe on the Real Housewives, because when you feel safe, you get Teddy Mellencamped and then you start a podcast. Okay? Seeing Robin squirm.
Teddy hates us.
I swear to God, she has
Teddy
to hate us.
Hates us.
She has to hate us, but that's okay. I mean, listen, I like Teddy outside. I don't know Teddy outside of the show. I think that she, again, I always say she's a great mom from what we see. She's a good friend. She's a good wife, whatever. But like watching her at BravoCon squirm because of the way that she talks about people and be so uncomfortable. Like, please, I don't want one of these people to walk up and just like rip my head off for all of the bad shit that I've said about them. I was living for it.
It's like comparing it to like a keyboard warrior, right? You keyboard warrior, you're safe behind the screen and your keyboard and pushing the buttons. She's safe in her home doing her podcast, and it's not the most polished podcast, let's say, you know, like you said, like they'll get up and like walk away and go to the kitchen and then come back to the mic, or they'll be like chewing gum, and you know what I mean? Like it's kind of just everywhere, but that kind of it brings something different to it. But I actually do like listening to some of their podcasts, and I do enjoy Teddy on the podcast. I didn't enjoy her on the Real Housewives. I think this is kind of like maybe her lane.
I agree. All right, Sherry White.
Did I just give her way too much credit there?
Yeah, I mean, listen. New to the channel. Hey, thank you. Thank you to all of our new channel members. Thank you to all of our new subscribers. Everybody joining the Addams family. Tom Short's definitely new. We agree with that. I actually have a phone call today where we're going to be I'm going to be digging, trying to find a little bit more behind the scenes before it breaks, and we will keep you posted. That's why we also said go check out the Up and Adam channel too. We have more content coming your way. So if you're not subscribed to Up and Adam or Up and Adam 2, there's over 3,000 people in the room, guys. Go over to Up and Adam channel 2 now. Hit the subscribe button so you guys don't miss anything in the future, because we are going to get into the nastiness of it all. It's like our stepchild, Up and Adam 2. Over here, we're like, hi, prim and proper.
Well, they call it. What do people call it? The redheaded stepchild of Up and Adam. I think Norma calls it the spare.
Like, yeah, she calls it the
Harry.
She calls it. Listen, I find that to be a compliment. We'll take that's the opinionated Up and Adam channel. This is just like the more just giving it to you as it comes within facts. But Jason, did we miss anything?
I don't think so. Big shout out. Thank you so much, Murray, for the super chat. We love you.
Murray. Love you.
And that's it, right?
All right, guys. So Vicky Harnish said 300 LOL. I don't know what that means, but okay. Let's celebrate. Oh, this was nice. Let's celebrate Adam and Jason for a great live, new members and all. Thank you so much. That is so sweet of you.
Seriously, that's fun.
Oh, channel 2 is the real tea. Okay. All right, guys. We'll see you in a little bit. Thank you so much. See you tonight at 7 p.m. for our members only. Of course, you know, we'll be posting throughout the week. Jason has Anchor Watch tomorrow. We have a lot of lives coming up. So just keep an eye out, and anything that breaks, turn your notifications on. Love you guys so much. Thank you for all the super chats, super stickers, all the new